हाथ उठाना
Okay,
आदत
fine.
बहुत गंदा है। हाँ वही तो माँ को कोई मारता है ये सब एटलीस्ट मुझे उठाना है। माँ की उसका तो किसका बच्ची का है। पल्लू को पकड़ के फंसा के फिर पहले पकड़ दिया से यार हटो हंसी
Okay.
लग रहा था आपको।
So in last class, we did very simple API. Okay. And now, we will develop one more API. Okay. And we'll learn few more components. Okay. In Mulesoft. Okay. So this time, we are going to develop one calculator. So what we are going to do, we will develop one, we will build one calculator. Okay. Using Mulesoft. Okay. So before that, we need to understand some concept. And in last class also, we did some in-depth understanding how this message and data flow. Today, we will continue on that part and we'll see more detail. उसका बहुत स्वाद रहता
growing food new town
है। ये है ना बहुत बड़ा सोसाइटी उधर TCS का जिधर सोसाइटी है।
उधर ही देखो ना।
Okay, so here, like last day, we see how this mule event works, like how mule event rotate. Okay, and today we will see like whenever mule event rotate. Okay, let's say this is HTTP listener. Can anyone confirm my screen is visible and am I sorry, I am audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Okay. Quickly check one thing. Recording started or not? Recording has started.
Recording is started.
So this is HTTP listener. Okay. We receive the request. Mule event will be created. Now, as I mentioned, like I want to develop one calculator. Okay. So for calculator, what will happen? So from here, request will go, and we need to take the like based on the condition, we need to perform the different operation. Okay. So let's say our condition is here. If operation each addition, then whatever number we will get, let's say we are getting number 1 and we are getting number 2. So we need to add this number 1 and number 2. If our operation is subtraction, then what we need to do? We need to number 1 minus number 2. Okay, like that we need to perform the operation. So first, can anyone tell me what is this? Like this operation is what we will term this as an operation, like this is metadata, this is filter condition, or this is processing data.
Filter condition.
Yes, correct. So where we will pass the filter condition?
Add message. URL. Query param.
Yes, correct. So if operation is filter condition, then we will pass inside query parameter. Okay. And this number 1 and number 2, what kind of data is this one?
A variable.
You can store inside the variable, but this is processing data.
Processing data. Okay.
It's an integer.
Yeah, it's an integer. It has integer value, but what kind of data? It's a processing data. Since we are doing some kind of processing on this. Okay. Now, whenever you will use this kind of data, no matter it's a query parameter or it's a processing data, if you will use same data multiple places. Okay. If we have, see, operation also we will use here, 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 here. Operation we will use 4 places. Okay. This filter condition we will use at 4 places. So if we have such kind of data, then better to store this kind of data inside the variable. Okay. If you are using same data at multiple places, then what we used to do, we used to store inside the variable and we use the variable everywhere. Okay. Then same thing, number 1 and number 2. Here also we will use, here also we will use, here also, here also. So what we will do? This is processing data. So this will come inside the payload. Okay. And same thing we will do. We will store inside the variable. Till this point, everyone clear? Now,
Yes.
if you want to retrieve the value of any query parameter, then syntax will be attributes. If you remember the format, this is mule event. Mule event has 2 parts. Message and attribute, message and variable.
Variables.
Okay. Now message is further divided into 2 parts, payload,
Attributes.
attribute. Attribute is now further divided into 3 parts, header,
Query
query
parameter.
parameter, URI parameter. Okay. Now, if you want to access the header, query parameter or URI parameter, then syntax will be attributes dot. After that, if it will be headers, then syntax will be attribute dot headers dot header name. Okay, this will be name of the header. Same, if you want to access the query parameter, okay, syntax will be attributes dot query params. This P will be capital. This P will be capital. Query
Can you go
params.
on mute? I'm hearing a lot of background noise.
Yeah, everyone please go on mute. Attributes for header, it will be header and then header name. For query parameter, it will be query params dot query parameter name. Same for URI parameter, syntax will be attributes dot URI params dot URI parameter name. So this will be syntax to retrieve the value of header query parameter URI parameter. Okay. So here our query parameter is operation. So how we will fetch the value of operation? Syntax will be attributes dot p capital query params dot operation. And what we are doing, we are checking this operation is addition or not. So if you are checking anything, then it will be double equals to, let's say, add. So what it will do, it will check this value. This operation value is similar to this value or not. Okay. So if this condition will match, then we will do addition. Now here what we are doing, we are adding number 1 and number 2. Okay, this is inside the payload. So how you will get data inside the payload? Syntax will be payload dot number 1. Second one, we have number 2. So plus payload dot number. Okay. So this way we can fetch the data. If you want to fetch any data from the attributes, then syntax will be attributes. Then what kind of attribute? Either headers or query parameters or URI parameter, and then their name. If you want to fetch the data from payload, then syntax will be payload dot payload name. Okay. If you want to fetch the data from variable, syntax will be where's then variable name. First, you need to use the keyword where's dot and then name of the variable. Okay. So till this point, hope everyone should be clear. Anyhow, we are going to do practically also, then you will get more clarity. But yeah, like theoretically, if you are good, then let's discuss next part. So here what we are doing, whenever request will come, here we are taking the condition. Like here we are taking the choice. Based on the condition, we are going to particular branch. Okay. So we have to do some selection. Okay. So we are choosing something here. Okay. So if we have such kind of scenario where based on the condition, we have to perform some task, then we use next component, that is choice route. Okay, so here first thing what we will do, use the listener. Here like for listener, we have all this detail. We have protocol, we have host, we have port. Okay, read timeout, let it be. Okay. So this is protocol, host, and port. These three detail we have here. We can do test connection. Okay, so test connection is successful. Next, what we will do, as I mentioned, one more thing is here. So here we need to put the path. So we'll put calculators. And here, what I mentioned, based on the condition, we need to perform the task. If we have such kind of requirement, then what we do, we use this choice router. Okay. So what will be our condition? Okay, as I mentioned, we will pass the operation as a query parameter. Okay, so if attributes dot, okay, first click this fx function, otherwise it will take string value. Attributes dot query parameter. Okay, attributes dot query parameter dot query parameter name. So what is the name of the query parameter? Okay, then equals to. So if query parameter will be addition, then what we will do? We will use the set payload. What we will do inside the set payload? We will add those two numbers, payload dot number 1 plus payload dot number 2. Okay. So what we are doing here, we are checking if operation is addition, then add those two numbers and send in response. So let's run this. So this time we will use calculators, and then here so first thing we will pass the query parameter, that will be operation, and value will be add. And then second thing we will pass the body. What kind of body we will pass? We will pass the JSON body. So select the raw and then select the JSON and type it here. Okay. So in payload, what all data we will have? Number 1 and number 2. Okay. So we already gone through like how to write the JSON payload. So for JSON payload, first thing we have, that is number 1. And what we will put any value, let's say 10. And then number 2, let's say 5. It's giving error, so let's put it inside double inverted comma. Our correct syntax only, but yeah, some tool will not support without double inverted comma. Okay, so we have number 1 and number 2. Value will be 10 and 5. Okay, and let's call this API. So we got 15. Now if I update this 10 and 50, result is 60. So you can see like we develop one calculator API. At this moment, it is performing addition. Okay. Now here what we will do, as I mentioned, the same thing we will use at multiple places. Okay. Whenever we do choice router, we can add multiple conditions. At this moment, you can see one by default, it will have one choice and one default branch. Means if any condition will not match, it will go to default. Okay. But you can add as many conditions you want. Okay. So here, how to add more conditions. So once you will drag it, you can see one line is coming here. Okay. Once this line will come, drop it here. So you can see here, new condition got added. Here you can add new condition. Same I have for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Okay. So this is for addition, then subtraction, then this is for multiplication, and one more I need for division. Okay. Now I need to write same set of logic here also, here also, here also, everywhere. So as I mentioned, if you are using same data at multiple places, better to create the variable. So what I will do, I will cut it from here. I will use one set variable here. Before the choice, I will use one set variable. Variable name I will give operation variable. We'll put it here. Yeah. So what we are doing here, we are taking this, whatever data will come inside this, either addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, anything, we will store inside this variable. And wherever we need this data, we will use this variable. So where we need this data, we need here. Where's dot operation variable. Okay. Now, same variable we can use here also. Everywhere click on this fx first. Okay. Syntax will be where's dot variable name. So automatically it's coming. Okay. And this time we'll check subtraction. Okay. Now again, inside this, what we will do, we will variable 1 minus variable 2 we will do, correct? Number 1 minus number 2. So what I can do, again, I'm using number 1 and number 2 many places. So instead of using this here, we'll create one more variable. So if you will use same set of data at multiple places, number 1 variable. And value will be payload dot number 1. One more variable I will take. Number 2 variable. And data we will take from payload dot number 2. Yeah. So now we have two more variable, number 1, which is stored inside number 1 variable, and number 2 inside the number 2 variable. So what I will do here, we will use payload dot number 1. Instead of this, we'll use where's dot number 1 variable plus where's dot number 2 variable. Okay. So for addition, we did change. We are taking operation variable and we are comparing with addition. And here we are adding those two values, number 1 and number 2. Since we stored the value inside the variable, so we are taking variable. If you don't want, you can use directly payload dot number 1. But in future, let's say your payload structure got changed. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, so we have number one, like we are taking from payload dot number one. In future, if this will change, okay, instead of number one, it's coming inside number. There might be some different name instead of number one. Okay, in that case, if we don't create this variable, then we have to go everywhere and we need to change everywhere. But if we have stored inside the variable, we just need to update on this place. Other places, since we are using this variable, so whatever change we will do here, everywhere it will be reflected. Okay, so that is the advantage. Once you will use the variable, if you will need any change, you can do only one place, and other places it will be reflected automatically. Okay, so now I will do for subtraction. So where's dot operation variable sub, then what we will do? Where's dot number one minus where's dot number two. Okay, this two I will do later. So let me delete it now. Okay, let's check the first. Let's check this two, and rest two you people will do by yourself. Okay. Okay, so this one is deployed now. Okay, so let's test the addition one first. We're getting correct. So let me update this with 25. Okay, we are getting 35. Now we'll try to do subtraction. Okay, and then let's make it 100. So 100 minus 25, we are getting 75. So both this addition and subtraction is working as expected. Okay, we'll do one more thing. Let's run this in debug mode. And let me add one breakpoint here. So debug mode we use generally, if you want to debug our code to check if there is any error. Okay, so that is the debug mode. Okay, second option we have to run this as a debug mode. Okay, and then breakpoint I have used. So wherever, if you run your code in debug mode, if you will do next, well and good. You will do resume, then it will stop only on two places. Either you should have some breakpoint or your code should have some error. Otherwise, it will complete the execution. And whenever your process will start, if you are running in debug mode, you must need to add one breakpoint. Otherwise, whenever you will call, it will complete the process. Okay, let's say I am removing this breakpoint. Deployment is done. Now, if I will call, I will get answer directly. I will get the result directly. Okay, but I want to debug it. I want to see what is happening. So you can add one breakpoint. Okay, now if I will call this, you can see here process stopped here. Now here you can see we have next processor and resume. If you will select the resume, again it will complete the everything. Until unless you don't have breakpoint, it will complete the process. Okay, but if you want to resume somewhere, then you need to add breakpoint there also. Okay, now if I call this, it stopped here. This time if I will resume it, it will not complete. It will like again resume it here. It will break it here. Okay, now if I will do resume, it will complete all the process. So whenever you will click on resume process, wherever it will have breakpoint or error, it will stop resume there. But if it don't have breakpoint or error, it will continue. Okay, now
Sorry, Ravi. So resume will means traverse between the breakpoints, and next is between the components.
yeah, it traverses between the breakpoint or error. If you have any error, it will resume there. It will, if you will have any breakpoint, it will stop the resume there.
Okay.
It will
So
stop there.
what is
Yeah.
the use of the next function? There is another one you showed right next.
Yes, that we haven't discussed. We will discuss soon.
Okay.
Okay. So in this way, this resume function will work. Okay. Now, if I want to traverse this component wise component, whatever component we have, we want to traverse each component, then we will use this next one. Okay. You can see it's going every component one by one. Okay. So once you will click on next and this component will execute. Okay. This component is done. Now what you will able to see here in this variable, one variable is created and value of this variable is sub. Since inside this variable, what we are doing, we are taking value from the operation. And what is the value of the operation? Value of the operation is sub sub. Okay, so we are storing this sub inside this operation and we are fetching that value here attribute dot query parameters dot operation, and we are storing inside this variable operation variable. So you can see operation variable value is now sub. Here what we are doing, we are taking value payload dot number one inside this variable. Okay, so number one value is 100. So this 100 will be stored inside this. Till this point, it's not stored since we haven't processed it. Okay, now you can see number one variable is 100. Okay, same for this one. Number two. Okay, so here you can see number two variable is 25 since we created it here. We are taking number two value inside the payload and storing inside this variable. Okay, so number two, we are storing inside num2 variable. So this is moving here. Okay, now based on the condition. So this operation is matching with add. No, it's matching with sub. So where we have that, we have this here. Where start operation where equals to sub. So it's matching with this. Okay, so it will go here. Okay, it will go in this branch, and what it will do, it will add this variable. Sorry, subtract number one that is 100 minus number two that is 25. So 75 result will be 75. Okay, now we don't have any component processing done and we got the 75. Let me know if anyone has any question.
Ravi, you didn't told anything about flow, subflow, or private flow, and with examples because
That
it
part
might.
you can leave for me. Okay. Let me take in my way. Otherwise, if I will go more theoretical way first and then we'll do. So I am trying to do things on more practical way. Since
Okay.
like I means this teaching part I'm doing from long time, I know the process where people will get more understanding. If I will start flow subflow, many people will not able to understand at this moment, since those are not basic component. Basic component we have set value, set pay, sorry, set variable, set payload. This kind of variables components are very basic component. Once you people will get understanding of this component, then for you people it will be easy to understand flow subflow, since that contains some advanced concept related to error part. Okay, if I go to flow, so flow has this error handling, but you people don't know anything about error handling. So at this moment, even if I will explain, it will be useless. So let's wait for some time when we will have some understanding of what is error handling. Then I will come to that part.
Okay.
Okay, hope everyone clear with this example. Let me do one recap and then you people need to complete this POC. Okay. So here what we are doing, we are trying to develop simulate one calculator mule application. Okay, where our API will take operation as a query parameter that can have value addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and then it will take two number and it will perform operation on those two number. Okay, so if like it will be addition, that operation value. So here what we are doing, we are comparing these two value. So what we are getting inside this operation variable, so we are comparing with this string. If this variable contains the value add, that's why we are using double equals to. If it contains the value add, means we need to perform the addition. So here what we are doing, we are performing the addition. And for everything what we did, since we are using those value at multiple places, we created the variable. For operation also we created operation inside the query parameter. So this is the syntax to get the value of operation we stored inside the variable. And these two variable also we are using at multiple places. So we stored inside this variable. Okay, we are taking value from payload number one and payload number two, storing inside two variable, and we are using those two variable to complete the task, to perform the related operation. Okay, instead of two, here we should have four for multiplication and division also. Okay, so if you will drag and drop this set payload, one more branch will be created and you need to put condition for multiplication here. Okay, so it's a 820. Okay, so I will give around 8:35. Okay, everyone need to complete this assignment by 8:35 and we can end our session. Okay, so I'm waiting for 15 minutes. Okay, and once you people will complete, let me know in chat. Anyone has any doubt on this part? So what you need to do, you need to complete the rest of the operation, that is multiplication and division. I'm here only. So if you people need and face any doubt or anything, let me know. Okay, I'm here only.
Ravi, I'm facing issue when sending request through Postman. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, you can see.
Is my screen visible?
It's saying 500 server error. Have you deployed your application?
Yes, I have. It was showing us deployed in console. I'll stop and run again. It was showing us deployed. Then I had sent the request from Postman.
Scroll down a bit. So what is saying? Error is evaluated payload. No, go down.
Okay.
Payload that value this it. You call the function value selected with this argument number 1, number 2, string and number. Okay, one value is string and another one is name. From your code, go to variable. You okay? Go to variable 2. Where no. How you are passing inside the payload? You are passing where number 2. your postman.
Postman, okay. Okay, I'm passing num1, num2 in the body, right?
Yes. So you are passing num1 or num2. And you need to take from payload, you need to take.
So I should give the same where num1 and.
No.
Uh-huh.
Wait. You need to try to understand, okay? You have passed num1 and num2 inside the payload, okay? Where you are fetching the
Okay.
data from the payload inside the variable. Go to variable. So here you need to type payload.num1.
So in variable 2 also it should be payload.num2.
Yes.
Where's so this where num1, it should be the name of this variable, right?
Yes.
Oh. Okay, then I'll run. And in this also, like in default, we'll not be able to give this query parameter like where's dot operation where. I tried, but it is telling something default. Let me complete this. 500 server.
Ravi, I have one question.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. So Ravi, like while testing it, right? I mean, I am checking one thing. Can I share my screen if this is resolved?
1 second. Still I'm getting this 500 server error, Ravi.
Have you redeployed your application?
Yes, I have redeployed. I redeployed and sent. See, I have
What error
deployed.
is coming?
It's showing the same thing, like string name is num1 like that.
Okay, click on variable one by one. Let me see again. Operation variable. Each variable, yeah. First,
Okay.
attribute.
Average.
Query param speech capital or not?
P is capital.
P is capital.
Okay. Dot operation. You kept inside the operation where. Okay. Go to second variable. Payload dot num1. Okay. Go to third. Payload dot num2. Okay. Now go to choice operation. Where start. I think in variable name you used same operation where or capital O or small o.
Capital O,
Okay.
capital V.
First of all, make it small. Okay. We should
Okay.
follow camel. Wherever we will use, so use camel case.
Okay.
Equals to mult. Then it will go inside the mule payload. Okay, click on this. Where start. Where you kept variable name like this only. Click on variable one. Where num1. Okay, now go to default one, default set payload.
Default. Okay.
Okay, stop it and run it in debug mode and add one breakpoint at the very beginning.
Can you go to the Postman?
Postman, okay. Send the request.
Can you expand the body part where you have put the body? Just expand this. No, just yeah, expand that one. Yeah, okay. This is num1 10 into. Okay, close braces body. Okay, so I think in body, right? Can you? This is the error. I think reason. Can you
This one.
change text to application JSON? Yeah, click it
Okay.
and go to JSON. Yeah, I think this is the reason. Can you send now? I think it should be fine. Go to the studio and
It's
click
in.
and resume. Yeah, resume. Complete the flow. Now go back to Postman and see what is it.
Now it is 200. Okay.
Yeah, can you check the response body? Can you close this console?
Okay. It's down. Okay.
See,
It's
but
coming now.
it is okay, multiply, right? Okay,
Let's multiply.
yeah, fine,
Thank you so much.
no problem.
I'll stop sharing.
Okay, Ravi, can I share back?
Yes.
Okay. Desktop. Allow to share. Okay. Are you able to say? Just
Yes.
are you able to see?
Not now.
Yep.
Oh, what happened? Just a minute. I'm not sure why I'm not able to share permission to share. Hmm.
Maybe you can try to reshare. Still, it's not visible.
Is it now?
No.
Hmm.
First time it was coming. After that, we are not able to see.
Share. What is the problem? Hmm.
Ravi, one quick question in this choice router, right? There will be like only two options coming for me. How to drag? I'm not able to drag and increase the choices.
So once you will select that payload, okay,
Mm-hmm.
just drag it and just after the like in between the choice component, move it here and there. You will able to see one line I highlighted when I was explaining. So one big line will come and you need to drop it there.
I'm trying, but I'm not getting it.
You can share your screen again with for 2 minutes.
Yeah, okay. He shared. Now it's visible.
Is the studio visible?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. So while I was testing this one, right? So this one. So if I don't put the query parameter here, if I put the query parameter operation add, then it is fine. If I put sub, then also fine. Multi, then multiplication. And if I don't put anything, right?
It will go to default.
Yeah, or if I am putting something else out of those, then it will go to default. But if I don't pass anything here, this one, blank, then also it will go to default.
Yeah, like if you are not passing anything, that means you are passing empty string.
But if I don't pass the this thing also, then also, I mean, if I don't pass the query parameter itself, then also it's going to default.
Yeah, it has two meaning. One, if you don't pass any value, then it will be treated as empty string. And if you don't pass query parameter itself, it will be treated as null value, means undefined value. In both the case, it will go to default only.
So if I want like, if the query parameter is not there, then I'll set the payload with something like query parameter missing. So how can I check if the query parameter?
Yeah, so you need to add one more branch. There you need to check the division.
Okay.
And then in default branch, you will like whenever it will go to default branch, print there. You must need to pass one valid operation.
Okay. Set payload.
Yeah, you can see how he drag and
Yeah,
drop.
yeah.
So
Okay, okay, I got it now.
So here you are saying to
Yeah,
put
Ravi, I'm done. I'm done with the subtraction multiplication is done.
okay, yeah, then good.
div, div. You are saying like this, right? Okay, got it. Okay, Ravi, I think yeah, it's fine. Now it's working. If this is not there, then it will provide operations. Thank you.
Any other query? Like from anyone
Ravi,
else?
one request. Can you please share the recording after this class so that during the daytime when we practice, if we get any queries, we can refer the recording.
For recording, to upload recording and all, I need to do some process. Okay, so like
Okay.
it takes some time, but yeah, I will try to do as soon as possible.
Sure, Ravi. Thank you.
Next class will be tomorrow or when is it?
Yeah, tomorrow only.
Tomorrow. Okay, okay.
Yeah, I will try to take as much as possible since we need to start project also and interview. So lots of things are there. Okay, so whenever I will get time, I will try to take the class. And
Sure, sure.
yeah, but like on schedule time, definitely we will have. But if any additional class will be there, then I will inform one day prior so you people can manage the time.
Sure, Ravi.
Yeah, Ravi, I have one question.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, in default, I have just right. It must be passed through a valid operation. So is that right? Or you want me to add anything else?
Default, sorry, ask your question again.
Okay, can I share my screen once?
Yes, yes.
Are you able to see?
Yes.
Okay. So the default, I wrote the message. It must pass through a valid operation. So is that right?
Default, you must need no must pass a valid operation. Yeah, means it's up to you, like what kind of message you want to display.
Okay. So I can add like add, subtract, or anything. But that should be a mandatory options in default.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Fine
Ravi,
then.
is there an option to
Okay.
check whether when we are passing the input, whether those are having any values or not? Because I was seeing like if I don't pass any value for num1, then it is throwing an error.
We have a validation component. Okay, if you want to add some kind of validation, and if that value will not come, you want to throw the error.
Yeah.
Okay, so that kind of things you can control. And if in few days we are going to learn the RAML file. Okay, so in RAML file, whatever data type and things you will define, if it will not match that data type and all, it will send you bad request automatically using API kit router. So that kind of things will come soon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Nothing from my side.
Then let's connect tomorrow and we'll learn new topic, new concept. Yeah. Thanks everyone.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.